What's up guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I thought I'd give you guys a Valentine's Day look. This is going to be a very soft yet sultry and sexy smoky halo eye. For this look, we're mainly going to be using shadows from the Tartelette palette from Tarte. My eyelids are already primed and set, so I'm first going to be going in with the shade Free Spirit as a base for all the colors that I'm going to be applying on my lid. And to do that, I'm using a fluffy E30 brush from Morphe. For my transition shade, I'm going to be going in with Morocco from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is one of my absolute favorite shadows to use as a transition color. If you guys haven't noticed, I use it in almost every video. And to apply that, I'm going to be using the dual-sided brush that comes in the palette itself. It's one of my favorite blending brushes in the world. You guys are going to see that for this look, I mostly use this brush. Like I have mentioned before, a transition color is very important when doing an eyeshadow look and wanting it to look very seamless and effortless, because what it does is it acts as a stepping stone for all the other shadows that you're going to be applying. It really helps your shadows diffuse a lot better, and it gives it like an ombre gradient look, which is always nice when you want to have a nice blended eyeshadow look. Since you are going to be blending it nice and seamlessly, it is going to lose a lot of its pigmentation, so you're going to have to keep going back and forth between the pan and your eye. I've mentioned this before in my videos, but you know, it doesn't hurt to mention it again. I also want to concentrate this on the inner and outer corners of my eye, because this is a halo smoky eye, which means that most of the color is going to be on the outside, and then right in the center there's going to be like a nice little, not pop of color, but I'm going to add a shimmer. And I don't know, the look itself is called halo because it looks like there's a halo around your eye, and it's really nice. Since this is a dual-sided brush, I'm just going to be turning it around, and I'm going to be using the end that looks more like a pencil brush. I'm going to be dipping into the shade Best Friend from the Tartelette palette, and I'm going to be concentrating that on the inner and outer corners of my eye, as well as right in my crease. I know it can be a bit tedious to dip back and forth into the eyeshadow, but you really want to do that so that you can get a nice and like smoked out look. You don't want to just take your brush and like swirl it really hard into the color and get like a lot of color on your lid, because that's not going to look really nice. You want to make sure that it looks really nice and buffed out and blended and seamless and airbrushed almost. So you got to keep going back and forth and blending it out. Like right now, all I did was just turn the brush around and use the fluffier side so that I could really blend it out so that there's no harsh lines. Taking an M43 pencil brush from Morphe, I'm going to be taking the shade Bombshell and concentrating that on the inner and outer corners of my lid, as well as the crease, like I did with Best Friend. In between blending, I do like to take closed eye selfies to make sure that everything is nice and even. With a Morphe M412 pointed Deluxe blender brush, I'm going to be taking Bombshell again and concentrating that on the inner and outer corners as well as the crease, and I'm just going to be swirling it around in windshield wiper motions and small circular motions to make sure that everything is nice and blended. I know it's really repetitive. This look doesn't really call for anything extraordinary and out of the box. It's just transition color, inner and outer corners, and a little bit of the crease. With a random flat synthetic brush from BH Cosmetics, I'm going to be taking the Maybelline 24-Hour Color Tattoo Metal in 55 Inked in Pink and placing it right on the center of my lid. Since we did apply that shadow in the center, we want to make sure that we smoke out the edges because we don't want it to look sharp. So I am blending it out once again with the Morphe Deluxe Pointed Blender Brush. With the pencil brush side of that Anastasia brush, I'm going to be dipping into Best Friend and applying that onto my lower lash line. Basically what we're going to be doing is doing the same process that we did for the lid. We're going to start with the lighter colors and build it up to the darker colors. And we also want to leave the middle part of the lash line empty because we're going to be applying the same Maybelline shade down there. Once I smoked out my lash line, I felt as though the inner and outer corners of my lids needed to be a little bit darker, so I did dip back into Bombshell and Fashionista, which is just a matte black, and I just added a little bit more dimension with that. Then of course, I used the fluffy side of the brush to blend everything out seamlessly. As the blending progressed, I did notice that Morocco wasn't really showing through as much as it was at the beginning, so I just dipped back into it and just blended it a little bit more above my crease. 311 blending brush from Camila, I just made sure that everything was nice and smoked out and added the couple finishing touches that were needed. Since the pigmentation from the Maybelline Color Tattoo had faded a little with blending, I just went back in and added a little bit more to the center of my lid. Taking a small detail brush, I added that same color right in the middle of my lower lash line. Then I just went ahead and applied some mascara as well as my false lashes, which are the Grand Glamour from Vegas Snake Collection. Alright guys, so this is the completed eye look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm 100% certain that it will be really easy. I know it looks a little bit intimidating, but it's way easier than it looks. And I also wanted to give you guys a couple different lip options, so stay tuned for that. For this dark, intense purple lip color, I used Guess by ColourPop and topped it with Sephora number 15 Cream Lip Stain, which is polished purple. For more of a cool tone option, I went in with ColourPop's Kapow. And my personal favorite, for a softer, more romantic look, I used ColourPop's Tool. Alright, so that concludes this tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
Why do I have to crease there? I mean, hello?